Welcome, students. This lesson marks the culmination of our course, focusing on resizing images to specific dimensions using precise tools and techniques. To begin, understanding standard photo sizes like 3R, 4R, and 5R is crucial. You can download a size chart from the resources provided, which outlines these globally recognized dimensions. Today, our focus will be on resizing an image to fit the 4R standard, equivalent to 4 by 6 inches. Before resizing any image, there are key considerations. Firstly, assess the current size and resolution of the image. For instance, enlarging a small image, e.g., 2 by 3 inches at 72 ppi, to a significantly larger size can lead to blurriness. Ideally, such small images should be at least 300 ppi when enlarged. Conversely, reducing the size of a large image, e.g., 20 by 40 inches at 72 ppi, to a smaller dimension like 3 by 5 inches requires increasing the resolution to maintain image quality. Now let's proceed with resizing our image to 4 by 6 inches. Begin by checking the current dimensions and resolution of your image. You can do this by pressing Alt-Control-I Windows or Option-Command-I Mac to open the image size dialog box. At the top right, you can see that the current file size is 6.74 megabytes, which indicates the storage space the image is taking up with its current resolution and dimensions. The image dimensions are displayed as 26.111 inches width by 17.417 inches height. These are the physical dimensions of the image when printed or viewed in real-world units like inches. You can check the dimensions of different units from this menu. The drop-down menu shows original size, which means the current dimensions of the image are displayed as is, without any preset resizing options selected. The Fit To option lets you quickly resize the image to common or predefined dimensions, useful for setting the image to specific dimensions without manually typing values. The width and height fields allow you to manually enter new dimensions for the image. Make sure this link is enabled before you change the values. The current values are 26.111 inches for width and 17.417 inches for height. You can change the units of measurement using the drop-down next to each field. In this case, the units are set to inches, but you can choose from options like pixels, centimeters, or percentages. The resolution is set to 72 pixels per inch, ppi. This is typically a low resolution suited for digital use, like web images or screens, but not ideal for print. If this image is intended for printing, you might want to increase the resolution to 300 ppi for higher quality prints. There are a few additional options available which we will cover in the advanced lessons. Now I want to reduce the size of this image to 4 by 6 inches. To maintain the image quality, I'll need to increase the resolution to 300 ppi. However, instead of using the image size dialog box to adjust the size, I'll use the crop tool. So, let me click the cancel button and proceed with the cropping method. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to use the crop tool in Photoshop, along with an explanation of the crop tool options bar. To activate the crop tool, either press the C key on your keyboard or select the crop tool from the toolbar on the left side of the screen. It looks like two intersecting right angles. After selecting the crop tool, go to the options bar at the top of the screen. In the width and height fields, enter the dimensions you want. In this case, set the values to 4 in for width and 6 in for height. This will constrain the crop to those dimensions. In the resolution field, type 300 ppi to ensure the image remains high quality after cropping. After entering the dimensions and resolution, the aspect ratio will be locked to 4 by 6 inches. You can adjust the size of the crop area by dragging the handles on the edges of the crop box. If you need to reposition the crop, click inside the crop area and drag it to your desired position. You can rotate the crop area by hovering near the corner of the crop box until a curved arrow appears, then click and drag to rotate the crop. Once you are satisfied with the crop area, press Enter or click the check mark in the options bar to apply the crop. The image will now be resized to 4 by 6 inches with a resolution of 300 ppi, maintaining high quality. Once you've applied the crop, you can verify the new dimensions of the image by toggling to the Image menu and selecting Image Size. This will open the Image Size dialog box, where you can check the updated width, height, and resolution of the cropped image. ensuring it matches the 4 by 6 inches at 300 ppi as intended. Now, let me walk you through a few more options in the Crop Tool options bar. If you want to crop the image without adhering to a specific size, you can select the ratio option from the drop-down menu. This allows you to freely drag the handles in any direction and set the crop dimensions according to your preference. You'll also find various predefined sizes in the crop menu. Feel free to experiment with these options to see how different aspect ratios impact your image. By selecting the Width x Height x Resolution option, you can manually enter specific dimensions and resolution values, as I demonstrated earlier. To swap the width and height values, simply click the double arrow icon next to them. If needed, you can reset all values by clicking the Clear button, which removes any previously set dimensions. By default, the Fill menu is set to Background, and the Delete Cropped Pixels option is checked. If this option is enabled, Photoshop will permanently delete any pixels outside the crop area, thereby reducing the file size. If you uncheck this option, Photoshop will preserve the cropped pixels, allowing you to readjust the crop later if necessary. Let me demonstrate. I'll now uncheck the Delete Crop Pixels option and apply the crop. After cropping, if I go to Image, Reveal All, Photoshop will reveal the previously cropped areas, restoring the original boundaries. It's up to you to decide whether you want to permanently delete or preserve the cropped pixels. By default, the Delete Cropped Pixels option is checked. The Straighten tool is used to align horizontal or vertical elements within your image. For example, if you want to straighten a horizon, simply click the tool and drag along the horizon line. Photoshop will then rotate and crop the image accordingly to ensure it's aligned properly. You can also use the Content Aware option to expand the boundaries of your crop. To demonstrate this, I'll press Ctrl-Z or Command-Z on a Mac to undo the previous crop, and with the crop tool active, select the Content Aware option. I'll then rotate the crop handles to straighten the image. After pressing Enter, Photoshop will automatically fill in the missing areas outside the original boundaries using its Content-Aware Fill feature, generating new content to blend seamlessly with the rest of the image. There we go. Now let's move on to creating a passport-sized photo and arranging a 4-up layout for printing. To start, I have an image of a gentleman that will crop to passport size. Select the Crop tool from the toolbar. In the Crop Options bar, choose the Width x Height x Resolution option. Set the width to 35 millimeters. Set the height to 45 millimeters. Set the resolution to 300 ppi. Use the crop handles to adjust the crop area, aligning the image with passport photo guidelines. Follow the steps I previously taught you to ensure the subject is correctly positioned within the crop area. Once you're satisfied with the composition, press Enter to apply the crop. Now let's create a 4-up layout to prepare the photo for printing. Open the Layers panel. Unlock the current background layer by clicking the lock icon. Rename the layer to Passport Photo. We're going to set the canvas size to 4 by 6 inches. Press Alt-Control-C Windows or Option-Command-C Mac. Alternatively, you can access the canvas size dialog box from the Image menu. Uncheck the Relative option. Set the unit of measurement to inches. Enter 4 in the width box and 6 in the height box. Click OK. The canvas size dialog box allows you to adjust the overall size of the canvas. Note that this change does not affect the image size itself. It only expands the workspace around the image. Use the Move tool to reposition the photo on the new canvas as needed. Now, we'll create 3 additional copies of the passport photo to arrange a 4-up layout. Hold the Alt, Windows, or Option Mac key and drag the image to create a duplicate. Snap the duplicate image to the edge of the original, ensuring they align perfectly. Again, using the Move tool, click and drag to create a marquee selection around both images. Hold the Alt, Windows, or Option Mac key again and drag to duplicate the selected images. Align these new duplicates with the existing ones, snapping them edge to edge. Next, you'll need to apply crop marks to ensure precise cutting of the photos after printing. To begin, make sure the rulers are visible. If they're not, press Ctrl-R Windows or Command-R Mac to activate them. If you want to change the default units of measurement, simply right-click on the ruler and select your preferred unit. Now let's place guides to help us align the crop marks. Click and drag guides from the rulers, aligning them with the borders of each photo. You can zoom in on the document for more precise positioning, ensuring the guides snap exactly to the photo edges. This will help when drawing the crop lines later. Then, from the Tools panel, select the Line tool found under the Shape tool presets. Now, set up the options in the Options bar as follows. Select Shape from the drop-down menu. Set the fill color to none. Set the stroke color to black. Adjust the stroke weight to 1 or 2 pixels, depending on your preference. Zoom in on the document to ensure accuracy and begin drawing the crop lines by following the guides. The line should be 4 to 6 millimeters long. Ensure the crop marks align perfectly with the guides, but they should not overlap the photos themselves. Follow along with the video as I demonstrate how to draw the lines. Now, if I press Ctrl-0 Windows or Command-0 Mac, I can fit the entire document to the screen. By pressing Ctrl-semicolon Windows or Command-semicolon Mac, I can toggle the guides on and off. When the guides are hidden, you'll be able to see the crop marks more clearly. However, I recommend keeping the guides visible while you work. In the Layers panel, you'll notice multiple shape layers created for each crop line you've drawn. Click on the Line 12 layer at the top of the list. Scroll down to find the Line 1 layer at the bottom. Hold the Shift key and select Line 1, which will automatically select all the layers in between. Right-click on the selected layers and choose Merge Shapes. If you're using an older version of Photoshop, the option may be labeled Merge Layers. After merging, rename the newly created layer as Crop Marks. At this point, you can save this document as a template, making it easy to reuse for future 4-up passport photos without needing to repeat the same steps. Go to File, Save As. In the dialog box, name your file something like Passport Photo Template and save it as a PSD file. Hit Save to keep this as a reusable template. Let's say I have another passport size photo ready, which I've already cropped. You can now easily add it to the template. First, use the Move tool to select the current photos. Once selected, press the Delete key to remove them. Next, follow these steps to add your new photo to the template. Open your new passport-sized photo. Press Ctrl-A, Windows, or Command-A, Mac to select the entire image. Press Ctrl-C, Windows, or Command-C, Mac to copy the selected photo. Return to your template document. Press Ctrl-V, Windows, or Command-V, Mac to paste the new photo into the canvas. Using the Move tool, align the first photo with the guides. Then, to create duplicates, hold the Alt, Windows, or Option Mac key and drag the photo. This will create a copy of the image. Snap the duplicates into place within the guides, ensuring each photo aligns perfectly with the grid. By following these steps, you can easily finalize your 4-up layout with the new passport photos, ready for printing. Now let's focus on Perspective Crop tool. The Perspective Crop tool in Photoshop allows you to crop and straighten images with distorted perspectives, such as images taken at an angle. This is particularly useful for correcting skewed or misaligned elements like buildings or signs to make them appear as if shot from a straight-on viewpoint. From the Tools panel, pick the Perspective Crop tool. Click and drag across your image to create an initial crop box. The corners of the box will have handles that you can adjust. Drag each corner of the crop box to the corresponding corners of the object or area you want to correct. Align the crop box edges with the distorted perspective you wish to straighten. Once the corners are positioned correctly, press Enter Windows or Return Mac. Photoshop will adjust the image, correcting the perspective and applying the crop. Finally, let me teach you how to apply a white border around an image with a specific margin value. Imagine that I want to apply a 5mm white border around this image. For that, I can use Canvas Size dialog box. Go to the Image menu and select Canvas Size. Alternatively, you can use the shortcut Alt-Control-C Windows or Option-Command-C Mac to quickly open the dialog box. Check the Relative option if it unchecked. In the Canvas Size dialog box, find the Units drop-down menu next to the Width and Height fields. Change the units from pixels, inches, or whatever is currently selected to millimeters, meter. To add a 5mm border around the entire image, you need to increase both the width and height of the canvas by 10mm. That's 5mm on each side. In the Anchor section of the dialog box, make sure the center box is selected. This ensures the image stays in the middle, and the border is added equally on all sides. Below the width and height settings, there is an option labeled Canvas Extension Color. Select White from the drop-down menu. If you need a custom color, click on the color box to open the color picker and choose any desired color. Once you've set the new dimensions, the anchor point, and the canvas color, click OK. Photoshop will then add a 10mm white border around your image. This method adds a perfectly sized white border to your image while keeping the original proportions intact. Congratulations on completing the Adobe Photoshop Essential course. You've gained a solid foundation in the key tools and techniques that will help you navigate Photoshop with confidence. Now it's time to build on this experience. Practice using the essential tools, explore different methods, and develop your own creative style. Mastering the basics is crucial before moving on to more advanced courses. The more you practice, the better you'll become at making the most of Photoshop's powerful features. Once you're comfortable with these essentials, I encourage you to join my other courses, where we dive deeper into advanced techniques, design projects, and creative workflows. Keep experimenting, and I look forward to seeing you in the next step of your learning journey.